someone other than Falcons have won an Apex Legends event. This is big. Now, I gotta say, this was not necessarily a clear-cut scenario of who's the best in the game. I still feel like, personally, Falcons are the best, but this event was one for the books for sure, breaking records, and we'll talk more about those in just a second. Alliance, if you guys have not seen it already, 1,000 club points for EWC. You know, they did take home $600,000. They are your World Cup champions. Team Falcons in second place with $375,000. Luminosity in third place. Game of Gladiators in fourth. DMS in fifth. Aurora in sixth. Liquid in seventh. Twisted Minds in eighth. Guild, EXO, Elevate, and Mizuchi and FaZe Clan all in the match point format, or they all hit match point, got your top 13. The rest of these teams, Dragon, LGD, EXL, Space Station, Fnatic, and GHS, and Blacklist are your 20th teams. Those are all the teams that made it to the finals. Of course, we know from yesterday, TSM and Co. not making it. Your MVP has been awarded for Hakis with another $50,000 bonus, but we have got to talk about how crazy this finals was. Alliance did win in the end, but it was, look at this, still down in points by Falcons. Falcons still won when it comes to total points, but obviously being match point format, they did not win, and let me just say, they deserved to not win. They threw so many games. As someone who's a big, you know, I am a Falcons fan. I love Jin Burton. I love Imperial How. I love Zero. Those guys are all very good. They're talented. Even their staff, ZZ and Privacy, have a record to show. I mean, these guys are legit. They simply did not clutch up when it mattered the most, and they had plenty opportunities to convert. There's been one person that everybody wants to cast the blame on, and I get it. But man, it has been a wild one to watch this. Let's just go ahead and talk about it. The Kraber from Zero is not the weapon of choice that needs to be in the future. I mean, this guy, I don't think the entire tournament I saw, and I did miss a lot of games, to be fair, I did not see in my experience Zero hit a single Kraber shot. Then they go into one of the middle of the matches, like game 10 or 9 or so, somewhere in there, where they no, it had probably been game 9 or 8, somewhere in there, where they had basically just literally, I saw Zero miss every single shot. They go into a very important fight with Alliance here, and they lose the fight because of a Kraber. Once again, just simply not good decision making that I think that we're used to seeing. And I honestly personally believe this is an event that Falcons probably felt like they had, more of like a tortoise in the hare kind of thing. They were way in the lead. Nobody was catching up to them. Nobody was even close. They were dominating, and they probably felt like, we're going to win this tournament in style. That's just my personal opinion. I might be totally wrong. Don't let me, misjudge this situation. But I see a lot of no scopes. I see Zero making decisions. I'm not used to Zero watching, right? I'm not used to seeing him make some of these decisions. Going into no scope scenarios in a 3v3, just not something I'm used to seeing. And it happened. He missed. They lost. They didn't convert. They go into a next game. They get another scenario where they have a chance to win. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out over and over and over and over. It doesn't work out. And sadly, we're watching this team miss out on the World Cup championship, or on the finals, and actually taking home the W in the end. But still good performance, not to take away from how good this team is, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. But they definitely had the chance to win, plenty of chances to win. Simple, the fact of the matter, they didn't convert. They did not make it happen for themselves. Luminosity in third. Crazy story for these guys. They were down and out, 1 point off of match point. They go into game what would have been 10 here, and they have a great big or actually, let's just pull it up on this. They go into game 10, and as you can see from game 10, this is where things started to get a little weird. Like, we're expecting the games to be over. By game 10, we're like, okay, this is getting drawn out a little long. Then game 10 comes around. Luminosity does a very phenomenal job to get plenty of points, but sadly not enough. They go right in to game 11. They're at 59 points. They finally get on match point, but this game right here got them to 59. If they get second place here, they would have been at 60. If they get one more kill, they would have been at 60. They would have been at match point with just one more point, but sadly 59 was not enough. They go into game 11 and they win. The tournament would have been over. This video would have been out 30 minutes earlier. That simply wasn't the fact and wasn't the way that it worked out. And Aurora also had a chance to win that. Many teams did. I mean, look at this. Elevate, Guild, Aurora, all these guys had a very good chance at winning this. Then you go into game 12 and you're like, surely it's going to be over now. Twisted Minds takes the dub, and they weren't on match point. Luminosity, once again, second place. I mean, Luminosity also was a team that going in about game 3 or 4, we weren't really looking for them to do that good of a job because they were honestly slacking behind. They needed to kind of come up out of nowhere, and they did do that. When it came time to convert, clutch up, ice up, it didn't happen again. So you go into game 13, and this is the time where you have everybody on match point at this point, nearly the entire lobby, 13 teams, right? Over half the lobby. Someone is just so bound to win it. And then you get to a point, Blacklist is the only team that can stop it from happening. And they get fourth. They go out. You know it's going to be over. Luminosity sadly weren't able to do it. Liquid sadly lost the fight to Alliance. Alliance had Godspot, and it was just such an easy win for them in the end. And Alliance was able to take it. It sucks. Obviously, I was rooting for a lot of these South American teams. They had, like I said in my tweet yesterday, they're fighting for their region, not just for some money here. I mean, people need to start taking South America seriously. They had a 100% success rate of going to the finals. Only 2 teams from South America there, and they all go into the finals. They look very, very strong, and they didn't even go by way of last chance. They didn't go to the losers bracket. They all qualified through winners bracket. So good on them, and that's something that I feel like is commendable. We need to have conversations about once again. So Alliance takes it in the end. Unfortunately, Falcons don't do good like at all, like towards the end here. They started off so strong. They do good in points, and they kept doing solid. It was just the fact they couldn't convert the win in the end. Yeah, also had a situation where, you know, we had some hiccups with some of the games. Everything was going in their way. Momentum was there. And sadly, you know, there was one time where Imperial How got ratted on by Luminosity. Luminosity really stopped Falcons from winning quite a few times here. Luminosity was really just playing defense. Like they had many moments where they were actually just kind of playing, you know, like griefing teams from going into match point, griefing teams from winning the game. And they were doing the dirty work, honestly, for a lot of this. I thought it was kind of crazy because I started the day off by saying, Zach, this guy literally had packets of paper on his desk. And this guy's looking at packets while he's playing. He's rotating in. He's looking at paper. I'm like, bro, he literally has the script in front of him. I knew it was going to be a good one, but I did not think it was going to be that good. Then you go into a situation where we're talking about Zero. He did come out after the fact to say first in points, second in finals, GG's to Alliance. At least we lost to someone actually good. Couldn't win a freaking game if our life was on the line, but onto Germany. And I think many people had the same expression of, you know, still the best. I think we all kind of know Falcons on, like, you know, just, I don't want to say on paper, but Falcons just when it comes to raw talent, the eye test, Falcons are still the best team, but overall. However, you got to be able to win the game, and Alliance was the team that was able to do that today. And I think we all just kind of agree, okay, Zero, no more Kraber, no more Kraber. Look at the comments. Never touch the Kraber again, little bro. You guys win the game if you never picked up the Kraber. Everybody is talking, Kraber aside, Kraber, it was all about the Kraber for them. It sucks because you know that if they didn't pick up the Kraber, if they didn't run that Kraber, and if that problem was never there, would we be having a different story? Would we be talking about a different champion? Obviously, that is still to be determined, or never will be determined, to be honest with you. Now, big records broken here. I think we need to talk about Apex World Cup had an immense, about 1 million, I would say over 1 million viewers, because we had Nicewig at like 70,000, the mainstream at like 30,000, the different language streams with the thousands and thousands and thousands. But it was Twitter that had like 900,000 viewers live on Twitter. Crazy stuff, man. They put on an absolute show. I do think that when many of these other esport games were going on, like, you were not seeing a lot of media, a lot of marketing, a lot of advertising, and it was kind of sad because it was a big deal, right? A World Cup. This was supposed to be huge. And for other games, I was kind of worried about Apex because other games were not really being like talked about. There's a lot of tournaments going on. I had no idea. You weren't seeing the broadcast literally everywhere. Apex kind of felt that way until the tournament actually came. I felt like we all had eyes. Nicewig was getting crazy numbers. You know, we were all experiencing some crazy stuff, especially those Twitter numbers. They were absolutely insane. The production quality was top notch. I hope ALGS takes back from a lot of this because I love the way that the stadium was set up. I love the way that the back drop, you know, you could see the scoreboard and they would do really good transitions going into it. All of the production was so much better, in my opinion, than the ALGS. Even the notifications that were on screen mid-game, instead of the right side, it would say, you know, DMS eliminated, or whoever eliminated. It would also show, it would have red alerts over the screen. You know, TSM eliminated in 3rd place. Falcons eliminated in 20th place, whatever the case may be. It would show you what was going on. It would also say Dragons are respawning, you know, sleep right now. Like, you could get live notifications of big events that were happening in the game that were not showing on camera. Big shout out to the World Cup for putting on a very good show. I'm hoping that this level of quality of content continues to get better as we progress in the ALGS. Obviously, Split 2 is now to follow up, and they've got a lot to show for this because we're just coming off a pretty big event here, and hopefully split 2 playoffs are also going to be pretty solid as well. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below about all the topics mentioned here today. Was Alliance the best team for you? Falcons still looking strong. Who's the team to beat when it comes to split 2 playoffs? I still think Alliance now has made themselves to be known a lot more. They were obviously the strongest EMEA team. Now I think they've got that chip on their shoulder. They've got to prove themselves again. Falcons still obviously want more, and I'm interested to see how it all plays out. Let us know what your thoughts are down below. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.